Sonic Frontiers is only mere months away, and many out there are curious about how the next adventure for the Blue Hedgehog will pan out, myself included. Thankfully, Sega decided to bring their latest demo build of the game to the Tokyo Game Show this year, and we got a chance to try it out on the Nintendo Switch in handheld mode. Let's go ahead and get into it. Danny from the Famicast here. If you're new to the channel, please be sure to subscribe, turn on the notifications, all that type of stuff. If you have any questions about Sonic Frontiers or TGS 2022 in general, be sure to sound off in the comments down below. Today, though, we're here to talk about the TGS 2022 demo build of Sonic Frontiers on the Nintendo Switch. Now, the Sega booth was absolutely massive and was home to a number of other big-name games, including Persona 5 Royal, Like a Dragon Ishin, and, of course, Sonic Frontiers. Now, for Frontiers, there were a lot of demo stations set up for PC, PlayStation 5, and the Nintendo Switch, all using original units. Not only this, but there's also probably one of the biggest demo areas on the show floor in terms of space and available demo stations. Now, similar to Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion over at the Square Enix booth, attendees were not able to choose their preferred platform to play on for this demo. It all kind of came down to what was open at the time when you got to the front of the line. Now, the booth itself was decked out with all things Sonic. Also, the ladies there, the booth babes or booth companions as I think they're called these days, they were all decked out kind of like as Sonic. They had blue shorts on and red sneakers. You can find some rings around like a Sonic Frontiers like photo op spot, and you know there was also this massive Sonic front and center, like it's inflatable Sonic that you could see. Wait times here were a bit long, but I eventually made my way into the demo area and luckily got to try out the Nintendo Switch version of the game. Now, just to note, we were not able to take any direct feed capture of the game running here on Switch. We did take a little bit of off-camera footage, which you can see here. So, and I'll probably kind of be splicing that in here just a little bit, but it was mainly just kind of like cutscenes. It was a little bit hard to do that while playing. Now, the controls here were pretty simple and easy to get the hang of. You know, B is used for jump, A can be used for a crouch or slide or stomp, kind of context-sensitive thing. X is used for side-loop, a little bit more on that later, and Y is used for basic attacks. L and R can be used for parrying, quick step, and or dodge, and the ZR button was used for boost. The right stick, pressing that in, would be used for locking on to enemies. Now, the side-loop move was pretty interesting and had some applications both in and outside of battle. All you have to do is press and hold the X button and run around in a circle. Now, this releases a light trail that, once connected, reveals rings, can help solve puzzles, and even inflict damage on enemies. This technique could also be used on the boss in the demo build too, so that was pretty cool. Now, I think the side loop here is a pretty fun mechanic that offers a different way to solve puzzles and also take out enemies, so it was really neat to see that included here in the game. Now, throughout the demo, exploration seemed to be kind of like the main focus here, though some combat was also available. Movement, I think, felt a little bit loose, but it was better than I expected. I think combat felt pretty good, and connecting with enemies was both satisfying and simple. You know, of course, with Y being the main way to attack, or use like homing attacks and stuff like that, I think kind of mixing that in with the A button for like these little stomp things, that actually kind of made it so it kind of felt like there's a little bit of variety when it came to the battle. You know, of course, in typical Sonic fashion here, too, once you do get hit, you'll lose your rings. But I still found that, you know, I still had enough time to grab a few of them so I can continue fighting without too much of a concern. Now, overall, Frontiers felt kind of like a more refined 3D Sonic game. I mean, movement did feel a little bit loose compared to other platformers, but I think it felt mostly fine. The environments did feel a little bit barren. You know, on the flip side, though, with this being a timed demo, I really didn't give myself a lot of time to stop and smell the roses. I was literally in the, you know, let's go fast mode, but there it is. So, I mean, you know, in the final build of the game, I think it'd be easier to kind of be able to check things out. But yeah, when you're in a timed environment, that's a little bit tough. As expected, things are a little bit scaled back in the Switch version of the game. You know, even with that said, though, I think everything seemed to be running pretty smoothly when it comes to frame rate, possibly at or around 60 frames per second. The environments that were on offer in the demo, it was wide open and full of vegetation and mountains, but, you know, upon further inspection, I think the ground textures were a bit bland and a little bit blurry, but this is probably something you won't notice too much of once you're zooming around the stages and, like, all that type of stuff. Yeah, I mean, even at fast speeds and cutscenes, I think Frontiers still ran pretty well on the system, so that was pretty nice. You know, one of my only serious gripes with the game visually had to do with the text. Now, it was just really small, especially playing in handheld mode on the older Switch model. I mean, of course, this will likely, or hopefully, be something that can be adjusted in the settings in the final build of the game. I had more fun with Sonic Frontiers than I was expecting, honestly. I mean, the controls were a little bit on the loose side for my taste, but the combat and that side-loop mechanic actually felt pretty great. Now, of course, with the Switch version, the visuals here are going to be a little bit scaled back, and the overall area on display during the demo did seem a little bit bare, but I think things were decent overall. I'm personally on the fence about picking this one up. However, the demo kind of pushed me a little bit closer to picking up Frontiers when it releases. We'll just have to kind of see about that. But let's go ahead and turn things over to you guys. Are you looking forward to Sonic Frontiers? Are you picking it up? If so, for what platform? Be sure to sign off in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. As always, thank you guys so much for checking out this video. If you like what you see, please feel free to drop this video a like. If you're new to the channel, please be sure to subscribe. We've got tons of podcasts, video reviews, lots of coverage of Tokyo Game Show 2022 and other events in Japan and stuff like that, and a whole lot more. Now again, this is Danny from the Famicast. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you later.